What can TikTok teach us about leadership? 3 things coming up. Hello, fellow. This is Kevin at Cross Culture Christian, helping you cross the gap between your life and the good life. And I try to do that by making videos that can help you see things in culture through the lens of Jesus. So let's get started. TikTok is a China-based social media app very similar to Vine, RIP, where people can share videos up to 15 seconds long. Now, I just knew about it through some of the memes that my youth were sharing and also through some YouTubers that I follow. But when I dug in, I was shooken. Like, check out these stats. TikTok is available in over 150 markets around the world in 75 languages. The latest available statistics show that there are 500 million TikTok users around the world. Now, these are monthly active users, and now these stats were from June of 2018, so right now it's even more than that. Another place says that it was the most downloaded app in the first quarter of 2018, both in the Apple Store and also in the Google Play Store. Most of the users of TikTok are below the age of 25, and on average, TikTok users spend about 52 minutes per day on the app. That's wild. So I had to ask myself, like, why is it so popular? Like, what about the app is working so well that it is, causing people to just stay on the app for that amount of time? Now, what I found was interesting, not just on a factual, informational level, but also on a leadership or organizational level. So here are 3 points really quick. Point number 1, TikTok encourages creative participation. TikTok is so intentionally designed that users are not just passively consuming content, but they are encouraged to creatively participate by creating their own content. Tools like filters and music overlays allow the users to stretch their own limits and to take creative ownership of their craft. And here's what happens. The more they create, the more they own the platform, and the more they own the platform, the more they appreciate their work, but also the work of other people in that platform. So here's the leadership principle. Creation fuels appreciation. I'm a youth pastor, and one of the things that I see happening in much of youth ministry right now is that it's so spectator-based, where the professionals or a select few run the entire program, while the youth or the people who are supposed to come to these programs are just expected to accept the product being sold, which in this context is the gospel. But what I've realized, especially working with people who are in the Gen Z demographic, is that they want to create, they want to participate, they want to creatively express their ideas and their thoughts. So in my leadership context, I'm trying to figure out how to be less of an expert, less of a talking head, and instead create more opportunities and space for the people to take ownership of their learning. And the more they take ownership of their learning, the more they appreciate the learning, and the more they actually are excited to be a part of the organization or the youth group in this instance. If you're a leader in your organization, here's a question. What can you do in your leadership context to create more opportunities for creative expression? All right, let's move on. Point number 2. The app communicates so clearly. It is a very predictable and user-friendly system. As soon as I opened the app, I just knew what I needed to do. Like, swipe right, swipe left, the whole thing, it just takes you through the entire process so clearly. I mean, that's one of the reasons why the app is so popular, especially with kids, right? Like, this reminds me of a leadership principle taught by Andy Stanley, and he says that clarity trumps competence. And I think what he means by that is that being clear in your communication, being clear with your expectations trumps your competence as an organization. Like, it doesn't matter if you are smart. It doesn't really matter if you are able to produce something that is meaningful and valuable to the customer, if you are not clear with your communication, if you're not clear with your marketing and your expectations. So yeah, that's point number 2, being clear. And the last point number 3. I think one of the reasons why TikTok is so popular is because it involves community. In TikTok, users are highly encouraged to participate with other users in response videos or in duets. And the more they collaborate with other users, the more the algorithm favors it and it gives them more visibility. And on the note of community building, I think more than any other app or social media platform that I know, TikTok has absolutely mastered the use of the hashtag. Different challenges are represented by hashtags, and so people, if they want to find out what a particular challenge is all about, all they need to do is put that hashtag, and all of a sudden your feed is just filled with everybody from different parts of the world all doing that particular challenge. Hashtags build community. The leadership principle here, for better or for worse, is that identity is forged in community. I think a crucial component of leading well is to figure out what you stand for. What is your identity? What's your brand? And if you know who you are and what you stand for, it helps you A, focus on your priorities, and B, it eliminates noise and distraction as you lead. Now, if you are a follower of Jesus, like myself, you know that you're already part of a community, and that's called the church. A global body of believers who have placed both their faith and their hope in the person of Jesus Christ. And a core part of being an apprentice or a follower of Jesus is to be both inspired and sharpened by this community as we do the one thing that we are called to do, and that is to love well, especially those who are not part of this community. Because anybody is a somebody that God loves. And unlike TikTok, our identity is not created by this community called the church. You are who Jesus says you are, not necessarily what the community says you are. And this church exists to keep you grounded in this new reality as a son or a daughter of the Most High God. So there you go, 3 points: participation, clarity, and what's the last one? Community. There we go. Now, if you're a parent of a kid in youth group, or if you're just a concerned adult and you're like, Pastor Kevin is saying that TikTok is good, it's of the world. My take on the whole platform is that it's just like any other social media platform. You can do good with it, but if you don't have the ability to discern what is good and bad, if you don't have the adequate filters in your mind and your heart for your media consumption, I would not use any social media platform for that matter. Because the thing is, there's a whole bunch of trash out there too, so we need to figure out how to best discern what's good and what's bad. So yeah, I'm not endorsing TikTok as much as I am investigating its success. If you are concerned about TikTok or any other social media platform or your kid's use of it, check it out for yourself and then decide if it's good for your kid or not. Anywhoosies. That's it for now. This is Kevin at Cross Culture Christian, helping you cross the gap between your life and the good life. Take care and God bless.